I'm ready. Hey guys, I'm Evan.
I'm Allie.
This is Allie. We're back this week for the youngfolks.com, broadcasting from Boston, and we're here to talk to you. And Allie's couch. It's a new couch. I like it. So we're here to talk to you about this week. Our fall sweep's coming up.
I think we're midway.
We're midway through it. So we talked to you guys recently about the ending of Breaking Bad. So that's over, and we're going through withdrawals. And obviously, Mad Men's kind of going to be in flux, wrapping up very soon. And Game of Thrones, you got to wait for a while. Dexter is over. Plenty of people follow Dexter. So we're
Doctor Who's 50th is either going to make us all cry of shame or cry of joy on Saturday.
I've seen like 3 episodes of Doctor Who ever.
You'll still be mad.
Anyway, so we got a lot of things that, maybe you've been following for years or just recently got caught up. Things in regards of television are coming to a conclusion. So Alan and I, we're going to talk about a couple of shows that have been going on that we really like, but very specifically brand new shows this season and what we think of them, how they might be improving, and maybe how you can kind of show your support and continue watching. So do you want to start off with the ones that have already been going on?
Yeah, sure.
So we'll do yours.
The ones that have already been going on. So the one that I like to talk about the most is Elementary on CBS.
It got a lot of hate because everyone likes BBC Sherlock.
It got a lot of hate because they cast John Watson as
a woman. Yeah.
Which is absurd. Because any alliteration of anything is taking their own spin on the original source material. The fact that that character's now a woman literally changes absolutely nothing about that dynamic. Everybody was worried that it was a cash grab and that they were going to romanticize, sexualize, whatever with the characters, even though the cast, the crew, the director, the creator, Robert Doherty, had been saying since the very beginning, there will be no romance. None. And there hasn't been, and we're in season 2, and it's one of in some aspects, it's one of the better shows on TV right now. I think it does character drama and character expose, or however you want to say it, in some of the best ways and some of the best well-written ways on TV right now, because it took the Joan and Sherlock, or Watson and Holmes relationship, and, grew it from them just meeting each other to kind of relying on each other and being kindred spirits. And the work by Lucy Liu and Johnny Lee Miller is exemplary. Fuck. And I can't speak today.
It's okay.
But they're amazing to watch, and I don't like procedural shows. I've never been into like SVU, Criminal Minds. I don't like it when like that kind of stuff is glamorized. It's just not my thing. But this is all about, it isn't about like the actual procedural. It's about how the man deals with it. It's like what he brings home with him and how he deals with his overactive mind and his drug abuse, and I don't know. And to be fair, it is more reliant on the original Sir Arthur Conan Doyle stories than the BBC version is. Because everybody thinks...
So, suck it, Moffat. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, because here's the thing is that everybody thinks that the BBC version is more true to the stories
because it's British.
Well, that, and because the Sherlock character is a standoffish, like, asshole most of the time, and in the book, he isn't. Like, he's in his own head, but he's compassionate, he's polite to women, he, like, is polite to people who are diverse, and, like, so it just, for me, I think it's a closer take. I still like the BBC version, but I see no reason to compare and fight them like so many people do.
And, it's like a year wait for 3 episodes.
It's like a 2-year wait. It's been 2 years.
Actually, it has been 2 years, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I just only got into it in
why
the
not,
2 years.
See something every week, too. But
yeah,
go
totally.
to yours before I just start getting angry.
That's okay. So my show that's already been going on for a while is How I Met Your Mother, which has been going on since 2005. They're on season 9. I got into it summer of 2012 when they put like seasons 1 through 6 on Netflix, and by means I won't get into. I've caught up entirely until last year, and it's just kind of fallen off the wagon. The characters have become stereotyped. It's the same points that everyone's making. I forgot the name of the actress playing the mother. The few scenes that she's been in, she's a theater actor. So this is one of her first bigger roles.
She's cute.
She is cute, and
That's all
she
I
does
know.
a good job with what they give her, but she hasn't really had much of a role, even though they were selling that to us. Basically, like for the last several years, since the show's consistently been renewed, they're telling us they're doing all these things, and they are, but they're book-ending like random episodes with it. Granted, the last few weeks there have been a couple of actually decent episodes that harken back to the show's older style, but
And Jason Segel's all but like not on it, right? Because
he's
off
driving in a
something
car.
else.
Here's the problem with this last season is that it's basically takes place entirely in the weekend of Robin and Barney's wedding, and literally like there's only a few flashback episodes. So like there was a running joke in the first couple episodes where like Lily, Allison Hannigan, says to like a waiter or whatever, like I'm pissed off this weekend. Always put a drink in my hand, so I can count. I can't even count. I can't keep track of how many times per episode she like breaks a glass or throws a glass and gets angry, and he puts a new drink in her hand. She goes, "Thank you, Linus." It's just so repetitive. Marshall's in the car with
What's her face?
I'm not even gonna.
And
yeah.
And Allison Hannigan's comedy acting is always kind of touch or go for me when she does like the broader stuff. Colby Smulders is kind of better in that regard, so I don't know if I could say
I've always had a. I
know liking her from Willow. But
I know that was gonna be my point. I've always liked her a little bit because I just had a connection to her from having watched Buffy, but that's about that for her character.
Yeah.
And then everyone just became a caricature of what they used to be, and Ted's just a complete jerk. And now they're trying to do a spin. Now they're trying to do a spin-off called How I Met Your Dad, starring the girl who's playing the mother. I don't know. It got greenlit, you said, so we'll see if they get a pilot through. But it's just CBS just trying to fill a time slot. That's all it is now. It's kind of unfortunate. I'm gonna stick it through to the end of the series because I've caught up, so I will do it. But it's one of the only shows I'm watching this year, and it's only 20 minutes of my time. Anyway, new shows. We got lots of new shows coming out this fall. Some of them are really bad. Some of them we're keeping up with because we picked them and only have so much time for them. So let's start with your first one.
Yeah, let's run through this. My first one is Brooklyn Nine-Nine, one of the few half-hour comedies that I truly, truly have fallen for recently, other than New Girl 3 seasons ago, whatever.
Is it 3?
Well, it's on its third. That's why I said 2 seasons ago. But and it stars Andy Samberg, and it is hilarious and is one of the best. You know how usually in sitcoms it takes a couple of episodes for like the cast to kind of get their groove and to kind of like feel their chemistry and get it going. They like from the get-go had amazing chemistry, all of them. And Terry Crews is on it, and he's a riot. Like I feel like he must be used to doing kind of straight man material. But
are you serious? Have you seen him in those Old Spice commercials with the bouncing pecs?
No.
And the sun explosions?
I know he used to be in Everybody Hates Chris.
Oh, okay.
He I don't know. He has a clay face. You know what I mean? Or just it makes any emotion ever, and it's I don't know. I would watch it just for him.
I caught the episode where he couldn't fall asleep at the station without his whale songs. Yeah,
and it's just I don't know. I laugh the most at that show probably than any other show that I'm watching right now. I think it already got picked up, and I don't watch things and. I'm bad, I know, but I don't watch things like Community. I don't watch things like Parks and Rec. Not because I don't think they're good, but I just never got into them in the first place. So getting into them at the beginning is important to me. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine, just go and make sure you're watching it. I think it's on Hulu.
It airs on Fox though.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think it's on Hulu. But But I'm just saying, if you don't see it and you want to catch up. It's easy. It is so much fun, and they're all charming as hell. So it's one of the smarter comedies. So
sure. I'm beginning to realize that a lot of the shows that we're talking about tonight are some kind of weird spin on the buddy cop or cop procedural show, comedy drama, or whatever. So let's go with Almost Human, which premiered this week. It's got. Let me catch his name because
Carl Urban and Michael Ealy.
Is it Michael Ealy? What do you know Michael Ealy from? I haven't seen him in anything.
He was in Common Law, I think. Okay. I don't know him from anything.
He's relatively new.
He's amazing.
He especially in that show, he's absolutely great. And I completely agree with your opinion on the pilot. The pilot aired on Sunday, and then the second episode aired on Monday. But it's basically a show. I think it's set in 2048, where
Yep.
Carl Urban is a cop that's got post-traumatic stress disorder and an injured synthetic leg. He's that kind of character. Remember we were talking last week about Blade Runner and how like these concepts of robotics.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually, me and my roommate goofily came up with the term last night while I was watching the show. Androidist, and kind of like it's kind of like an allegory for racism, but against synthetic beings or robotics and stuff like that. And that's exactly what Carl Urban's character is. But he's already very
just
quickly.
Called it prejudice.
It is prejudice.
Okay.
It's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
It's a prejudice against robotic beings, and with Michael Ealy, he does a great job at somehow playing something that's supposed to be lifeless but is emoting, because the model is a DRM.
It has a synthetic soul.
Yeah, it's a DRM. I got Xbox.
I've written like 4,000 words on this already, so like that's why.
Yeah, the second episode was significantly better. I don't know, but definitely you can see this show, and if you like this show, you definitely should be watching Blade Runner, because even in the pilot alone, I could see so many subtle. I'm not liking it yet.
Really? I'm excited for its potential if they capitalize on it.
You know what it reminds me of?
If they don't, I'm gonna probably. I mean, I can't toss it now because I'm writing about it. But I think it's gonna take some time to tell. I like there are some hints of like the morality of the androids that they dropped in the second episode. Yeah. That if they like keep it going, it could be something really good. If they don't, I might get bored.
It's a show that can, be really imaginative and has a potential to be really deep as well as action packed. So definitely, and then the director, the creator of it is J.H.Wyman, who was previously a lead producer and writer on Fringe, which just ended last year or the year before, I think. Yeah, good to know. It reminds me of Sarah Connor Chronicles, the Terminator spinoff that was also on Fox a few years ago. I liked it, but it didn't really last very long. It just the ratings kind of took a dive when they put it on the Friday slot. But we'll see if this is a sci-fi show that takes off. I think it has potential.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has that. It's just, again, if they actually like live up to it. Yeah. Which is always my problem with shows like this.
See, early season ones.
Yeah, my second one, and the one that I'm like the most enthusiastic about, oddly enough, is this show called Sleepy Hollow.
My mom watches it.
And exactly. And I think I was fearful going into it because like I spent some dedicated time watching Once Upon a Time, and it was a disaster in the end. And I was afraid it'd kind of be like that, like a lot of camp, but with nothing to like pay off for the camp, like how Doctor Who does. This is like camp, and it like is smart too. It has a diverse cast with a diverse writing team, a lot of female characters, and like it is just so much fun. And they just like, it seems like they're enjoying writing their show and creating something different. And like, it's on a Monday night. It's on at like 9, and like
I think it's also on Fox. We're talking a lot about Fox shows tonight.
And like I don't know, it's just I guess you just need shows that enjoy themselves every once in a while, that don't take themselves too seriously. Because like after watching shows like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones, it's like you just need a breather once in a while. Yeah. And this show is super enjoyable, and the two leads who play Ichabod Crane and Abby Mills have like fantastic cutesy chemistry, and like again, it's just easy, but it's not a show that you can feel like embarrassed about watching like I know some people do. Like it's just so much fun.
So is it like the kind of like that, do they throw in those typical jokes that are like the fish out of water like we saw?
Oh my god,
like,
yeah.
I like this, another like that kind of style?
Kind of. But more with like a loofah.
Okay.
Like all they see a loofah and they have no idea what's going on. Or like he doesn't understand how windows work in a car, or why there's taxes on donuts. But it is a man at a time
kind of humor.
Yeah, but it's like he picks up on it pretty well, except for these little things that just irk him, and that's what kind of makes this character so hilarious. Because it's not the big things like the technology; it's like that there's taxes on donuts that really annoys him. So that's why I think it's just fun. But go to your second.
Okay. Or my last one actually. So as the Marvel guy, you may have noticed the last few times we've talked about stuff like this, or my entire Thor video. I've been following Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. since it premiered. I haven't bothered watching it live. It airs on ABC on Tuesdays. I haven't bothered watching it live since the premiere because for whatever reasons. But I've been watching it online afterwards on the website. And I basically, if it wasn't a Marvel show, if it didn't have Clark Gregg, who's a great actor, and Phyllis Coulson's a fun character, I wouldn't have kept up with this. It took a long time for this show to pick up. I know that they tried they tried doing some stuff where they set up a major villain called like Graviton. They got a lot of conspiracy theories going on with the character Sky and her rising tide. So basically, I was watching this as a fan of Marvel and as a fan of the traditional Joss Whedon kind of thing. And I don't know. Jed Whedon is the lead guy on this show, and I don't know.
I know Joss went in for a lot of rewrites on the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, he's basically the guy that travels around all of Marvel Studios doing rewrites on everything when he's not working on the new Avengers script, and you can tell like when he does the punch-ups.
I can tell you the one thing. Everything that is wrong with that show is embodied in the character Sky.
Yes.
She is everything that is wrong with the show, and they need to fix her if they want it to succeed, because obviously they want her to.
And I think they're fixing it by giving other characters much more screen time. We have the character May with more screen time. Fitz and Simmons are beginning to
embrace each other. Adorable.
When the show started, everyone was like, "Oh my god, they're the exact same character." Just kill one of them off, Joss, like you do. But you know what? There was a episode a few weeks ago where there was a Chitauri infection. There was the last few episodes have actually really picked up in the quality of the show, and now it's at a point where I feel like it's on episode 8 and half are bad and the other half are actually good. And I think this show does have potential. I don't know how long it will last. I don't know what the ratings are going to be like, but
the ratings are going down. The
picked
episodes
up
are
this
getting
week,
better.
though. It did pick up this week.
Because of Thor.
I know, because of the Thor spinoff, which actually wasn't a terrible spinoff because it wasn't quite so direct to the movie. There were references to Thor in dialogue, but it was actually more about just an Asgardian artifact.
Mm-hmm.
But as the show's going along, we see more of what the S.H.I.E.L.D. universe is supposed to be. We see more, we'll get more cameos sprinkled in here and there. I loved the Nick Fury cameo in the second episode. That was super fun, even though it was 30 seconds. And I don't know. It's beginning to feel more expansive, and the interior, the bus on the, as they call that giant plane, like the characters are becoming much more three-dimensional, whereas before it was like, oh, I see. This is that Whedon archetype. Here, this is the Buffy. This is the Xander. This is the Angel. This is the Spike. I like Xander, okay? I related a lot to Xander. You remember season 1 of Buffy? He almost turned into a hyena, okay? And that was a terrible episode, but you know what? That show got better.
You shouldn't admit on camera that you relate to Xander.
Yeah, he's kind of an ass. Okay.
Embodiment of what feminists hate. It's fine. But, yeah, those are our TV shows that we love right now. And next week, we will not be here because of Thanksgiving. But after that, we'll probably be back. And Frozen's coming out, so I want to talk about our favorite animated films, and I'm super excited about that. So, done deal. And
yeah,
I ruined his night. But it's okay. We'll see
you
next
didn't.
time.
It's okay.
Check
we'll
out
see you
the
next
young
time.
Folks.
Yeah,
Bye.
TYF Official. At TYF Official. Jennifer Lawrence's new haircut sucks.